Hello guys, welcome to weekly outlook here on gold, the pound USD, the USDCAD, and of course the DXY. And quickly, I'm just going to be very simple and straight on this one. Basically, we've seen price, last week I was anticipating maybe a continuation of the bearish movement down, continue to the downside, but I see strong rejection around here and probably a resumption to the bullish side. For the week, I'm anticipating price to break 104.50 and possibly head to 105.50, and that way it means I'll be selling gold and be selling pound USD. If I slide into the 4 hours time frame, you can see how the last week, we saw price really bull up after this downward move towards the non-farm payroll. So what I'm anticipating is two things. If price breaks above 104, let's call it 104.60, and starts to continue to the upside, I'll be looking for bullish structures here on DXY that will enable me to sell pound USD and gold and probably buy USDCAD. Other than that, if we get a good rejection around this region, then we might anticipate price to continue sales. Then if we have good volatility this week, a break of 103, then I'll anticipate price movement to the downside. That being said, let me put it into perspective. So a break of price here, retest, then I'll be anticipating price to continue to the downside, maybe retesting these regions of 101.50 or 102. And then this week, if we get price to break these regions here of 104.60, a retest of that region, we can see price come to 105.50 and above. Okay, so that's basically what we have, what I'm looking out for here on the DXY for the week. Okay, now if that happens, so it means I'll be anticipating if gold DXY is continuing to the upside, then this is really going to support the structures we have here. Good confluence, downward trend touch for the third time, creating lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. This is a good reason for me, this is the daily time frame by the way, to anticipate price to really continue from these regions down to the downside. Okay, for the week, probably creating a new low even. Okay, now let's slide a little bit down to the 4 hours time frame. So for any reason we'll start getting price to create higher, just break above this region perfectly, then we can anticipate price to break, retest this region and head to the top, retesting 1980 for the week and possibly even above. Okay, so for now, what I'm anticipating is for price to come here and create a head and shoulder pattern for me by doing something like, okay, let me take this one out by doing something like come back to this region here and head to the downside, and so on and so forth. Okay, all right, so and then in the long run, a perfect break of that region here, a perfect break of this region here would enable us to see price probably retest 1800 region. Okay, depending on the volatility. So that would be that on gold, basically the way I'm looking at it. If price breaks above this region, upside, but I'm looking for price to really just give us a good structure to continue to the downside. Same thing here on pound USD. On pound USD, the analysis is kind of similar. We have a downtrend touch one more time, upward trend line broken, retested. We had a good double top here, pulled to the downside, created a low. Now we had a lower high created, anticipating price to continue to the downside. Well, the confluence will be this, more like my analysis will be this, looking out for price to break this region here, retest this region, we come into this region, break, retest, and then anticipating price to come all the way to 123 this week. All right, other than that, I'll be looking out if price comes back to break this region. If price comes back to break this region, we might see something like this. and then continue to the upside. All right, so I'm looking out for that too. All right, so well, I'm pretty much very much bearish. Why? Because we've seen the consistent lower lows, lower highs finally break through this consolidation, created a low, came back for a retest. Now we're looking at price dumping back here. If price decides to reject here very well, then we might see price continue to the upside. But I'm looking out for a break of price below 125.60. A retest of that, we might see price continue to the downside. That is that for pound USD. Lastly, USD CAD. If we get that bullish continuation or bullish momentum on DXY, we also get a bullish movement here on the USD CAD. Looking out for something possibly this way, a pullback into these regions, and then break, retest, and then continue to the upside. Continue to the upside. Okay, that's that. And we also have a possibility where we confidence to sell USD CAD is if price comes back to break this region, then we might get something like this, retest these regions and retest. All right, so basically let's see how that plays out. And okay, bonus Euro USD, same as pound USD. Looking out for price to actually start with, reject this region, probably something like this, break, retest, and then continue to the downside. Or if we get a price to break this downward trend line around this region, then we can just get price to continue to the upside. All right, that'll be that on that. My best analysis or best bias for this week, I'm looking at gold to really play out beautifully, and DXY looking good too. So that's that for the week. I'll see you guys during the weekend for the recap. Make sure you back some peeps this week, and have a nice one. Ciao.